Hey there, Durham home buyers. Have you decided to buy a home? That's awesome. Super exciting. Congratulations. That's an important first step to making the decision towards home ownership. But here's the problem. If you don't have a really solid plan, you could waste months searching for a home that, you just can't afford or is just completely wrong for you altogether. So today I want to show you how to create a home buyer's checklist that's going to help keep you both focused, realistic, and confident that you can find the right home for your family with little to no stress. So let's take a stab at it, shall we? Step one. These are the non-negotiables. Essentially, these are the absolute must-haves that have to be present in the home if it's going to work for you. And if they're not there, it's just straight up off the list. It's not an option. These could be things like the style of home. If you're getting a little older and you can't do stairs so much anymore, you might require a bungalow or just a property that doesn't have any stairs, so it could be a condo. The number of bedrooms and bathrooms are essential to that decision. The location, is it in the right school district for my family, for my kids? Is it close enough to the train station so it's easy on my commute? How does the location impact your decision, and where does that fit in the pecking order of priorities? Obviously, the budget is an important element here too. That's a non-negotiable. Obviously, we can only afford what we can afford. And one thing that I think is really important, I'll call this a pro tip for you: be really honest with yourself here about what you cannot live without in terms of that non-negotiable must-have element in this particular property. It might be really nice to have a finished basement or swimming pool, but it's not essential for you to carry on your regular daily living, right? So that's kind of the difference that we're talking about here. And that's where we'll jump into step two. These are the wants. So, and this can be a fun part of the process, and I highly recommend that you sit down with and make a list of these types of elements that, would be great to have, but they're not deal breakers in your decision. So that might be something like a large backyard with a swimming pool. That could be something like an updated kitchen or updated bathrooms. It might be a finished basement. It could be having a 2 or 3 car garage. It would be great if we had those kind of things to accommodate our vehicles, and maybe I want to have an extra garage bay for a toy or something like that. But they're not truly essential to us living in the property. So, and that's sometimes where people can get stuck because they're sort of torn between what a want and a need is. So it's really important to establish and have a really clear vision of what is a need versus a nice to have sort of thing. And as I said, it's a really good exercise to sit down and rank these items from 1 to whatever on a piece of paper, and it'll help you prioritize what elements are more important versus less important to you in that home search, as a part of step 2. Now, step 3, this is where things can also be a bit of a challenge. This is managing your expectations. But let's be real here. There's no such thing as a perfect home, a perfect house. Perfection is largely unachievable. Certainly our therapists will tell us that. So it might need a little bit of work. It might not have everything you want, but it does check off all the boxes of your non-negotiables. That's step 1. And it may have some of the elements that are nice to haves from step 2. So it might need a little work. It could be your dream neighborhood, but it might need a new kitchen. It might be move-in ready, but the house might not have the backyard that you wanted. The key is to be flexible where it counts, but stay focused on what you want in the long-term goal as part of that non-negotiable. And that's the key here to long-term happiness when you're thinking about being in your home for the long term. So just a couple of final thoughts here. Before you start looking for a property, take that time to sit down, make this list, because it'll save you time, stress, maybe some conflict with your significant other. If you're having some of those discussions and you can't quite agree, you can always revert back and take a look. What did we say before we started this process that was important to us? And obviously, as you go through that process, things might change. But at least you have a point to reference and then adjust accordingly. So if you need help figuring out what is realistic for your budget, for your family's needs, maybe you need to figure out one location over another, I'm here to help. So give me a call or send me a message and let's start that conversation. And I just want to say thanks again so much for watching this video today. Have a fantastic rest of your day and happy house hunting. So until next time, I'm Lucas Ballahhood with the Ballahhood Group Real Estate Services. Bye for now.